ABS-CBN Sports proudly presents the Adamson Lady Falcons, the Ateneo Lady Eagles, the De La Salle Lady Spikers, the FEU Lady Camaras, the UP Lady Maroons,
6-5 is the score of the
UP Lady Warriors,
Nebrida with an off.
the UST Tigresses, the NU Lady Bulldogs. This is the UAAP Season 75 Women's Volleyball Tournament.
Back here at Volleyball Central for the second game of your Wednesday double dip. Earlier, UST beating UE in straight sets. Now we get into a very important match for both the two-time defending champions on an 8-game winning streak, the DLSU Lady Spikers, and the Adamson University Lady Falcons, who are on a 3-game winning streak and are looking for a share of second place here at the arena in San Juan. For ABS-CBN Sports, alongside Noreen Go, I'm Boom Gonzalez. Thank you for watching us live here on Studio 23. Noreen, Adamson and La Salle both in a win streak. As I mentioned earlier, FEU is looking at this game. Ateneo is watching this game because it's very important for both teams. La Salle wants to consolidate their #1 ranking. Adamson wants to get to #2.
Well, you know, I'm really excited to see this match. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go 5 sets, 4 sets, 3 sets. For me, I'm looking forward to the quality of the game.
Because I think we share the belief that the first time these two teams met, Adamson was not the same team that it is right now in terms of the confidence level that they're experiencing with this 3-game winning streak. Let's check the team standings so that you know what we're actually talking about. La Salle, as I mentioned, trying to consolidate their #1 spot, trying to put distance between them and whoever is going to be #2, whether it's Ateneo or Adamson or Far Eastern University.
Well, if you look at the team standings, La Salle is actually, that's very comfortable already for any team, 8-1. But the race for the 2, 3, and 4th spot is really on. You can see 7-3, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4. NU not out of it, 5-5. And you know, when you look at that, the middle part, really, it's so interesting. And your best is as good as mine.
That's right, La Salle, of course, pretty much assured of at least a playoff.
Oh yeah.
At least, because meron nga tayong Final Four format, as we have all been talking about, because nobody is undefeated anymore. Now, we touched on that first meeting. Let's go back to it. It was a straight sets victory. Actually, La Salle looked at this game as a bounce-back victory. Remember, they lost their first assignment here in Season 75 against UST. And then their second assignment was Adamson University. Oh boy, they were mad. And they showed it against Adamson University in straight sets.
And during that match, it's quite obvious that they had a game plan, which is to stop Pineda. I remember covering that game, if I'm not mistaken, or watching it. But I remember Pineda couldn't get through. You know, they were really blocking her. Their blocking was really well. And they won in straight sets. We can see 26-24, a bit close, but the rest 25-19, 25-18. So La Salle able to neutralize this Adamson squad during that game.
And the thing that comes out in this bunch of numbers that you're seeing on your screen right now is the fact that La Salle not only outgunned them on offense, but also most specifically where they're at their best right now. Look at the blocking; they're 12-1.
They really, you know, La Salle is the best blocking team in this season, and obviously with 12-1, like I mentioned
Di
earlier.
makalusot, ano?
Di makalusot, the likes of Bang Pineda, di makalusot. That's one of the major options. Of course, the other one being Paul Soriano. So if you neutralize one of them, which is Pineda, you would basically win that match.
Now, I said earlier that La Salle bent their ire on this Adamson team in their second game of the season. So the only loss that they had was their first game, and that was against the UST Golden Tigresses, and they got that win back already the last time out. The much-awaited rematch between UST and DLSU did not look good for UST, especially in sets number 2 and number 3. LaSalle and UST engaged in a really long, tough battle in set number 1, but UST just could not get through in sets number 2 and sets number 3.
Well, right now, that's the story of UST. Everyone talks. We talked about it. UST kind of struggling to find form here in the second round, while LaSalle, obviously, they bounced back from that first game loss, and they're cruising all the way here in this season.
That's right. Well, they won, speaking of cruising, just as a sidebar, at one point they won 18 straight sets before they lost to Ateneo. Remember that, when they lost to Ateneo in that round 1 matchup that is still much talked about. You look at the numbers again, familiar numbers from both offense and defense.
LaSalle, they really take advantage of the fact that they're the best blocking team. They're showing us. They're making it easier for them. Once you block, that's already a point for you. So that lessens the pressure on your offensive game aspect of the game.
And even if they have to resort to their offense, they have the material to do that. Aragalang, Mika Reyes, Wedge Chu. And also on defense, you mentioned the number 1 blocking team is LaSalle, the number 1 blocker as of today. Because in that last game against UST, I remember Maricar Nepomuceno was still at number 1. Abigail Maraño, because of her performance against UST, and we'll get to that in a bit, really overtook the number 1 spot. She is now the best blocker of the league so far.
Well, she showed her being a veteran in that match, and not only in offense, she's also a role player. She's stepping back, letting people like Ana Galang, Mika Reyes, claim the spotlight. But she's doing it in other aspects, like in defense. And you can see 12.7 blocks from that.
7 blocks.
I know, when I saw the statistics, I was like, that could be a team's total block already for the match. And we're talking about just one player really lording it over the net.
And she didn't have to do much on offense because Aragalang also has been on a roll the last 2 games for Aragalang. She scored 21 and 20 respectively. So Maraño is concentrating on the other things. And she sat down with our very own Judy Sarrell. Let's listen to that interview.
Abby, kitang-kita namin nung last game nyo against sa UST, yung magandang depensa na pinakita mo. Gano'n ba kalaki yung naitulong nun sa panalo nyo sa UST?
Number 1, depensa is very important for volleyball kasi unang-una kapag halimbawa pumalo ng malakas, kailangan makuha mo yung depensa. Kasi lagi sinasabi ni coach namin, huwag kayo matakot dumipensa at mag-receive. Yun number 1 na lagi namin iniisip din. Siyempre, depensa sa blockings or even kahit sa receive, importante yun. Kasi bago pa lang dumating sa court nyo yung bola, kung na-depensa mo na sa blockings, malaking bagay.
And ngayon naman nakakalabanan nyo naman ang Adamson. Saan naman kayo mag-focus?
Same pa din sa blockings and good service kasi yung last game namin medyo nandun kami off. So ngayon, mas mag-focus kami dun sa service namin and blockings. Ganun pa din sa floor defense and attack.
Thank you, Abby, and good luck. Back to you, Blue.
Thank you very much. They're going up against a team that will have Zapanta, Pineda, Pao Soriano trying to get through that defensive wall that LaSalle has been able to put through in the last 8 games. I'm talking about, of course, the Adamson Lady Falcons, bannered by Pao Soriano and Sheila Pineda. They're on a 3-game winning streak themselves. I mentioned earlier, Noreen, they probably are not the same team that LaSalle met also in that first game.
You're right, and we always talk about it that we were excited to watch an Adamson match only because they do not follow the trend of other teams, and when the other team, the opposing team, is a bit weaker, they play the opposing team's brand of game, which is slower, so the game gets stretched, the quality of them, the rallies are not as high. But when you talk about Adamson, they really play their game. If a team is weaker, they dictate the tempo. If a team is stronger in paper, they give them a run for their money.
They had a very emphatic win against the UE Lady Warriors the last time out, as you see in the sets. Sets 1 to 3, total domination by the Lady Falcons.
Yeah, they won in straight sets because in every aspect they defended well, they received well, and then Pao Soriano really just went to town in the center position. You can see the numbers. 40 as compared to 21, 5 as compared to 3, 9 service aces as compared to 4. So in all aspects of the game, Adamson just really prevailing and stamping its class over the UE Lady Warriors. Warriors.
All right, let's talk about the 4th best scorer of the league and the 6th best also. Pao Soriano and Sheila Pineda, or Bang Pineda. Obviously, they will be at the forefront of the offense against LaSalle. LaSalle will have, always their hands full with different teams. But they're going up against Pineda and Pao, who have really risen to the challenge and are coming at you at different styles too. Pineda and Soriano, really 2 different players.
You're right. You know what's nice about both these players is through the years they have matured, and what they're bringing in the second round of the tournament is their experience. Their experience, their will to win, and they're showing it up. You can see the numbers, 19 points each. So both players really just stepping up to the plate when called for.
That's right. That's their numbers against UE. The funny thing, and I'll just squeeze this in, the ironic thing about Soriano and Pineda is the fact that in their losses, they scored more against the times that they won. And that might be a little bit misleading. What it actually means is that the other players have stepped up in the wins, especially in this 3-game winning streak.
You're right. They will have their numbers.
Correct.
The numbers will be there. But what really determines the outcome of the team, whether they win or they lose, the core group. People like Guevara have to step up to the plate, the Panta. So when that happens, things look bright for the Adamson boys.
Apple David this time had a conversation with Pao Soriano. Let's listen to that interview.
Bang, maganda yung nilalaro niyo sa second round, and currently you're on a 3-game winning streak. Anong masasabi mo sa performance ng team niyo?
Kasi kailangan namin makabawi, kaya yung second round sobrang iniingatan namin. Tsaka, para din di masayang yung sinimulan namin, lalo na yung mga pinaghihirapan namin sa team.
Later on, you'll be facing LaSalle. Ano sa tingin niyo yung dapat yung gawin para matalo niyo sila at magtuloy-tuloy pa yung winning streak niyo?
Kailangan sobrang matibay yung coverage namin kasi nga malalaki sila. So, kung di man kami makablock, babawi kami sa depensa.
So, thank you very much, Bang, and good luck sa game mamaya. Back to you, Boom.
Thank you very much, Apple. That was actually Sheila Pineda that sat down with Apple David earlier. She would be interesting. Just as a sidebar, Noreen, ilan kaya hairpin ang gamit ni Sheila Pineda para dito sa laro na to?
There's talk that she actually has a franchise for hairpins.
Does she?
No, we're just kidding.
That would be an interesting sight to find out, or an interesting stat to find out. All right, Sheila Pineda will be in action today. Adamson University trying to go for 4 straight wins against the 8 straight wins of Mika Reyes, Yeye, and the rest of the DLSU Lady Spikers. Live here on Studio 23.
This is the UEEP Season 75 Women's Volleyball Tournament. 75 Women's Volleyball Tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very blessed Wednesday afternoon from the Phil Alpine Bay Arena here in San Juan as we bring you our main event, match number 40 in the Women's Volleyball Tournament of UAAP Diamond Season 75. Officiating this match, our first referee, Lumer Pachi B. Pajarillo, National Referee. Our second referee, Jess Wally Villarreal, National Referee. Now let's meet the starters for both teams. First, for the 2-time champions and league leaders, De La Salle Lady Spikers. Number 1, Mika Esperanza. Number 17, Wens Chu. Number 2, team captain Abigail Marano. Number 7, Michelle Gomamo. Number 8, Ara Galang. Number 3, Mika Reyes. Their libero number 5, Liz Gohing. And the head coach of the Lady Spiker is Romil De Jesus. And now here are the starters for next season's UAAP hosts, the Adamson Lady Falcons. Falcons. Number 1, Bebs Pineda. Number 14, May Mazatuno. Number 2, team captain, Paul Soriano. Number 5, Mayet Zapanta. Number 15, Marlene Cortel. Number 9, Faye Guevara. Air Libero number 11, Princess Listana. And the head coach of the Lady Falcons, Sherwin Meneses.
As we said, the first game between these two teams, the second game for LaSalle, ended in 3 sets. De La Salle trying to bounce back against their loss against UST. Only 2 players in double figures in that first game against LaSalle, and it wasn't even, and they were not even led by Pau or Bang or Bebs or Sheila Pineda, whatever it is that you want to call her. They were led by Mayet Zapanta, actually, with 11 points. Soriano only had 9, Pineda had 10. In the 3 losses, sorry Noreen, masingit ko lang, in the 3 losses of Adamson, 2 of them were 5-setters, if you remember, against UST and against Ateneo. And then naibalik na nila yun, naiganti na nila yung talo against Ateneo the last time out. So Adamson drawing first blood here.
That's right, you mentioned that really Adamson is a different squad right now. Right here, right now, especially here in the second round. They're a different squad altogether.
Morale-wise
No,
pati,
exactly.
no? Tsaka parang nag-adjust din sila kay Coach Sherwin nung laro na yun. Regardless of how long Coach Sherwin has been involved with the Adamson University, when you take over, it's a different ball game.
Of course, and you know, we're talking about a legend in Mami Dulce Pante, and the familiarity, the comfortability. And when you lose that, sometimes you lose yourself altogether. But obviously, Coach Sherwin is doing a terrific job here with this Lady Falcon.
May comfort zone sila kasi kay Mami Dulce. May nakasanayan na. Para dito naman kay Coach Sherwin, parang nag-adjust sila. But they adjusted real quick. And I was about to say, the most important part of this game for Adamson, if they want to threaten LaSalle here, is their floor defense. They've always been a good floor defensive team. It will come into play even more importantly because you're going up against a great blocking team, so their coverage has to be 10 at 10 today.
Definitely. And you know, LaSalle is not just a great blocking team. They're the best blocking team here in this tournament. So, you know, they really have their hands full, and I'm talking about Paul Soriano and Pineda. They really have to work double time because they have to remember the blocks will be there.
And second with Apple David from the Adamson side. Go ahead, Apple.
The Adamson-LaSalle game in the first round was a nightmare for the Lady Falcons as the Lady Spikers swept them 3-0. However, with their 3-game winning streak, Adamson is carrying a strong momentum going into this game. Sabi nga ni Coach Sherwin, nakabawi na sila sa Ateneo ngayon. LaSalle naman ang kailangan nila bawian. They are gonna do that by having a better coverage, tulad yan ang sabi mo, Boom, and always anticipate na babalik yung bola. Alam nila na forte ng LaSalle ang blocking. In fact, the Lady Archers dominated that area, 12 blocks to only 1 from Adamson in their last meeting. Also, to get points, the Lady Falcons have to utilize more combination plays and make sure kargado yung mga palo nila. Lastly, Coach Sherwin reminded his players to limit their errors and to not give LaSalle 20 points. Kung makakaputas man yung kalaban, siguraduhin na paghihirapan nila yon. And Boom, to answer your question, Sheila Pineda has 14 hairpins on her hair right now.
14? Talaga? 15 ang bilang ko. Pero sige, thank you, Apple, for the in-depth report. Our courtside reporters today, Apple David, and later on we'll check in with Judy Sarrell, who works the second game too. And may karga yung hataw at sibat ni Mayet Zapanta doon sa play na yun. So it's a check ball. Adamson 3, LaSalle 4.
But that's a good, you know, that spike of Zapanta is what Adamson should actually do in today's match. Just go for it. Do not be intimidated by the good blockers. Because sometimes when you're blocked often, like twice, thrice, you change your spike already. Parang you lose the confidence.
Correct.
So if you're Adamson, just have to go for it and rely on your coverage. As you were saying earlier, the coverage that they're known for anyway.
It has to be at its best right now. Floor defense and their coverage. Everything has to click when you're up against a solid team like LaSalle, who are on a roll. They're not only on an 8-game winning streak, but they feel like they beat anyone right now. And let's check in with Judy Sarro from the LaSalle side.
Women Arena, kausap ko kanina si Coach Ramil at kitang-kita sa kanya ang pagiging handa sa laban nila ngayon. Tinanong ko ang preparations nila at sabi niya, more on improvements lang sila. Ayon kay Coach Ramil, pinaghandaan nila ang blocking at floor defense nila ngayon dahil doon din daw malakas ang Lady Falcons. Dagdag pa niya, konting improvement lang din daw sa service ng Lady Spikers dahil doon sila nagka-problema nung last game nila sa UST. At nung tinanong ko naman si Coach kung ano ang lagi niyang paalala sa players niya, sagot niya, i-maintain lang nila yung kondisyon nila. Dapat less injury sa practice at sa mismong game. Mahaba pa ang season, kailangan mag-ingat para laging maganda ang laro. Boomerang?
Judy, that first set of LaSalle against UST was horrible in terms of their serving. They gave away so many points to UST from bad serves. Kaya humaba rin ang humaba. Well, I'm not taking away anything from UST. UST played so gritty in that first set, pero tinulungan din ng LaSalle by giving away so many points on bad serves. So I understand why Coach Ramil is, kumbaga sa basketball yan, after the game, marami kang binigay na points sa free throw eh. Parang ang dami mo sinablay na free throw. Parang ganun yun eh. So, take extra practice on the free throw shooting. Ganun din sa volleyball. I'm sure they had extra practices from the service line. Cortel, the lefty, is checked. Oh, that's a bad set.
Good cover.
They go back to Cortel. Has to readjust.
Wow!
Esperanza and Reyes.
You know, again, that's what the core, the support group should do. We're talking about Cortel, Guevara, Zapanta. That's what they should do, contribute in little ways. But don't be intimidated by the blockers.
Let's put some numbers behind what I said earlier. In losses, mamaya, balikan natin yan. Dahil ngayon, may technical timeout tayo. 8-6, abante po ang DLSU. That team, DLSU in the lead, 8-6. As they find a hole in that sequence. And as I said, Aragalang has been on fire. 20 points and 21 points. 21 and 20 in the last 2 games. Best player the last couple of games against National University and against UST. They had a tough schedule too. Everybody's talking about how the others are. You're talking about a team, as you see another service error, that went through Ateneo, National U, and now has Adamson. So these are top-tier teams that they're facing.
But then, look what happened. The outcome of all those matches so far so good.
2 5-setters pa.
2 5-setters.
Oh.
It's good for LaSalle because they know that they should forget last season. Last season they were technically unbeatable, basically unbeatable. But this season they started out with 1 loss. They're going the distance. Other teams are challenging them. But what's nice about them is they're maintaining their composure and they're showing us that, even if they're down 2 sets, they can still bounce back and extend it to a 5th and even win that match.
That was an Owishi-Owow moment of the game. Owishi-Owow opened up to everyday surprises. Yes, down 2 sets against Ateneo, or LaSalle, down 1-2 against NU, and they both pulled that off. And then the straight sets victory against UST. Nakalimutan ko yung UST dun sa schedule nila. Ateneo, NU, UST, and now Adamson, all top-tier teams here in season 75 of the UAP. LaSalle's lead is down to 1 as Esperanza gives it to Chu, who swipes it off Pineda.
Just smart play there by Chu. But so far, the blocking of Adamson, very slow to react. I've seen Pineda go up and challenge first Anagalang, who made mincemeat out of that block, and now went Chu. So Adamson has got to focus also on blocking.
Esperanza to Gumabaw. Safe hit. Makatuno. Pineda was there. But Abigail Maraño was also there to check her. Humabao set her sights on Soriano. Maraño set her sights on Pineda. You see this? Look at that. Wow, wonderful defense, really.
So they gotta remember that Maraño is the best blocker right now.
Pineda's gotta be so frustrated the last two LaSalle games, huh?
But there's one rotation after this. When Galang is in front and Mika Reyes in front, you have basically 3 of the top 10 blockers in this season.
And not so shabby on offense either. Okay, I was talking about the numbers of Pineda and Soriano in their losses. Pineda is 10.2 per game. And then, in wins rather, 10.2 points per game in wins, 13.7 in losses. Soriano, a shade under 12 points in wins, and then jumps to 18 points in losses, which goes against what the conventional thinking na, oh, bakit ganon? Mas marami silang ginagawa pagtalo. Again, it goes back to the fact that it seems that Adamson relies too much on them, and they're trying their very best to try to carry them. In their wins, the offense is a little more spread out with Zapanta, pati nga si Villanueva, Guevara, they're contributing in those wins. So that's the counterpoint in that conversation.
But you know, there's also another side to it. It could be they lose because defense is not there.
True.
If defense is not there, your options are really Pineda and Soriano. So they actually, you know that they'll perform well no matter what, so they'll get more numbers. But then that's where what you're saying comes in, that they score more because they're trying to carry.
Yeah, over-reliance.
Yeah.
Nangyayari. Mayat Zapanta out on that last kill. Wench Chus, 13 serving 11. Underhand set to Zapanta, off speed. Chu was there. Esperanza. Humabao, Cortel able to pop it back up. And a free ball. Easy over. And they go to Galang behind. Oh, good three. Triple block for Adamson. But those of their own medicine.
No, and Pao Soriano actually is telling us that you keep talking about the South blocking, you forgot about me.
That's true.
Soriano
is 7th best in terms of blocking, so she's right up there.
Really good anticipation by Pao Soriano.
Good serve by Makatuno. Oh! I don't know, I thought that was going to sail out, but Makatuno, her instincts to take it. Abigail Maraño, able to score 14, serving 12. Now, Adamson wins today. They join Ateneo at second. So obviously Ateneo may not be in their nature, but they're rooting for LaSalle today.
That's right. So Ateneo will be solo second.
Yes. Well, FU also watching this game dahil gusto nila matalo rin, ano, ang Adamson. Zapanta again is checked. Wow. And you're seeing not only blocks, but you're seeing offensive blocks. Blocks that are really instantly turned into points. Bubong na bubong yung dating, Nori.
Exactly. That's how you should block. Ooh. Really, your arm should be over the net, and once you hit the ball, it come into contact, you push it down. That's the best. That's blocking 101 for you.
Oh, the height of Mika Reyes winning out in those two plays. The block and the tip, and the lead is 4. Here at the arena in San Juan, You saw earlier the Golden Tigresses, the winners in today's matchup against the Lady Warriors, who are still without a win. Season 75 of the UAAP. Boom Gonzalez, Noreen Go, Judy Sarro, Apple David, Direk Alneri at the helm of this live and exclusive ABS-CBN sports coverage. We're happy to have you with us as second round action continues. This is the 40th match of the season already for season 75.
Well, you know, Boom, I was mentioning earlier that when you look at the front line right now of LaSalle, you have three blockers or three players in the top 10 as the best blockers in this tournament. So, you know, Adamson's got their work cut out for them.
Cortel has been delivering as Goheen could not get to the ball. Cortel with a couple of attacks here. Last one successful to get a point. Cut the lead down to 13 as Maria Teresa Pisa, the service specialist, comes in for Coach Sherwin.
Oh, good serve.
Galang again. Pineda dove before getting to the spot.
Before. No, but you know, if you're Adamson, that point wherein Cortel got a kill, that's what Makatsuno should do. She should really not limit the plays to the center, but try to move the blockers around and fast. Because I remember that's what Asian teams do to European or American or Team USA, is they try to make points based on speed and their playing. So that's what Adamson should do.
Coach Sherwin calls a timeout because his lead has pulled up to 5 after this block from Mika Reyes.
Hindi ka nag-receive, hindi ka papalong ayos. Kaya nyo mag-block, huwag nag-over, huwag outside. Ha? Tara, diskartehan mo lang, hingi ng bola.
Lima lang yan.
Sabayin nyo sa likod, sabayin sa likod, receive lang muna kayo sa likod. Wala naman kayo magagawa doon kung i-receive.
UST was down 6 points, if I'm not mistaken, in the first set of that match against LaSalle. They came back and forced that to a 30-28 encounter. Right now, it's a 5-point lead as Michelle Gumabao. You know, Kim Fajardo just checked in, by the way, at the 17-13 score. I'm looking out because the last two matches, Kim Fajardo came in at 6-4 and 5-5 in the first set in the two previous matches, very early to replace Esperanza. In both those cases, Esperanza never came back to the game.
Well, I should just say, Coach Ramil's way of shuffling his players, really sometimes it baffles you and it'll make you wonder why is that player playing bad, but then it works. That's his game plan. It works. And what's nice also, his players always have fresh legs because he constantly shuffles the players.
Well, two things. Number one, can't argue with an 8-game winning streak and an undefeated season last year in terms of the elimination round. And secondly, and this has been established by all of the anchors and analysts, they have the deepest bench in the league.
Oh, yeah.
So he can play around all he wants. Coach Ramil has the license to do so. The many titles that he has secured for De La Salle. I'll say this, though. The future looks very secure for LaSalle when you have Fajardo, you have Reyes, you have Galang, and you know there's going to be a couple in the back pocket of Coach Ramil coming into the next couple of seasons. It's a good rally here. Pineda.
Oh.
See the frustration of Sheila. She already is adjusting to the block. She really is very annoyed with this LaSalle blocking team.
That's right, and she realizes
Affected,
that.
no? Affected siya.
Parang nilalayo niya, as you can see in that play, no? Your aim or the follow-through of the hand really nilalayo niya with this girl who's serving, Mika Reyes.
Yep. There. And that's why Pineda, again, the door shut on her by the rookie Fajardo. And I believe Maranyo in there.
That was, yeah, Fajardo and Maranyo. But I can see, the one thing that's different from Esperanza and Fajardo. Fajardo is a very good blocker. So if you want a good setter, they're both good setters. But I think Fajardo has a better number in terms of blocking.
And again, just like Esperanza, she's tall.
Yes.
So yun yung luxury. Look at Pineda. Her game really is looking like that first game.
Yeah.
She really looks effective by this LaSalle defense. And you feel for her because, you love how this girl plays.
Exactly.
22-15. Let's listen in on Adamson.
Palo nyo lang ng maganda. Medyo buka, dilagyan nyo lang ng variation yung palo nyo. Power, buka, power. At sa ibabaw lang ang palo. Pero ang block, sigalan mo. Hindi naman nakakapatay O hindi nakakapatay, sigalan mo. Tara, isang residan tayo. Malayo pa yan. Ha? Tara.
Lead has ballooned to 7 now. First set. Yeah, we say that Adamson is a different team from that first matchup, but LaSalle is the kind of team that can really make you look.
Can make you bleed for every point.
When they're on, Noreen, when everything's clicking for them, they're tough to beat.
That's right. Because if they play bad in terms of offense, let's say that when Stu has a bad day, which rarely happens, but they always have blocking as an alternative in getting points.
Now the shuffling continues for Coach Sherwin. And this time, it is Anwarlin Mohammed checking in.
Well, this is actually a good front row also for Adamson. You have both Soriano and Pineda there. So they have to take full advantage of that.
By the way, let's say hi also, Noreen, dun sa mga nakikinig nanonood sa atin on live streaming, no? Mga nanonood UAPsports.tv. Maliban sa mga nanonood sa Studio 23. Maraming salamat.
Right, keep supporting UAAP.
As we are looking for some epic matchups going to the end of the second round. Ateneo UST yet to happen. Ateneo LaSalle, round 2 of course. So Adamson FEU. Ganda pa ng mga labanan na mangyayari dito.
Yeah, we were talking also about it in our pregame coverage. Is the standings. It's so tight, really, that race for the Final Four. LaSalle, you said, already assured of a spot, at least in the Final Four. The number
playoff,
2,
at least the playoff.
The number 2, 3, and 4 is really up for grabs. Literally up for grabs.
And that FEU UST also, that match. And not only are they going to be exciting because of the way they've been playing, as you said, the relevance and significance of each loss and each win now is going to be highlighted.
Kamay lang pinamablock mo tapatan mo yung tao mo. Tumumba na, mag-side ka na, para maganda yung basa mo sa block. Hindi, kinakamay mo lang yung block mo tapatan mo. Pag ginawa throw, habulin mo lang. Service mo lang, kumpiyansa mo lang yung service. Dapat lang yan. Pag walang receive, anong defense natin? 1, 2. Ha? Okay, pag bumuka, 2.
LaSalle 2 points away from pocketing set number 1. People watching in Japan, people watching in Melbourne, Australia, maraming salamat. They don't even belong to the schools that are playing right now, but are avid watchers of UAP Volleyball. Marami pong salamat. Mabuhay po kayo. And thanks for checking us out today.
That's right. That's the beauty of the coverages right now, no? They really highlight the quality of the game here, especially in season 75.
Zone 1 was wide open, Noreen, for Michelle Gumabao.
Well, Michelle Gumabao has been very effective in that outside hitting position. And again, the blockers of Adamson. Slow to react. Another single block coverage. That's a no-no. You're giving LaSalle hitting practice.
And they are at set point. Wenchu doing the honors. Zapanta. And that's 4 touches on Adamson, so an error gives LaSalle set number 1. LaSalle looking sharp, Noreen.
Very sharp. Defense working well for them. Offense just follows suit.
25-19 is our set score. We'll be back with second set action here at the arena in San Juan. Back here at the arena in San Juan as DLSU takes set number 1. What did it? Let me ask that question to you, Noreen. You're being paid the big bucks to answer those questions.
It was so obvious, really, that LaSalle, they're backing up their numbers in terms of blocking. We have some 12 ones and 12 fives in terms of against opponents. And when I talk about blocking, we're talking about, again, players from the top 10 categories. 4 of them from this first 6 of LaSalle. So can you imagine how lethal that front line is? And they're doing it to Adamson. Frustrating Pineda. Only Pao Soriano seems to be, getting lucky.
Yep,
Not lucky, I mean getting her points. But this LaSalle squad is really annihilating this Adamson squad through blocking.
And we love, you and I, we always have talked about this on air and off. We love watching Adamson play.
Yeah.
We love their grit. We love their offense. We love their defense. But they just look different when they're going up against LaSalle. At least in that first set. Mahaba pa. Marami pang lalaruin. Pero makikita mo naman yung diferensya sa number, especially the blocks department.
That's right. Actually, that's the only category that's significant in that first set. But if you're Adamson, back to the drawing board, you're a good defensive team. You said that, Boom, earlier, that they're known for their floor defense. But obviously, coverage is not working for this Adamson squad, which has to be double time in today's match.
Yep.
So when you talk about the Adamson being gritty and they're always so lively, once you're blocked, clean block, that really brings down the morale of the team, even the spectators, to be honest. So the coverage should work double time right now for Adamson.
And you see the way they were blocked too. Translated to instant points as Bebs Pineda back on the service deck. She probably was the most frustrated offensive player from the Adamson side. She couldn't get anything through, and once she did get through, she would miss-hit the ball, which again shows how much frustration she has. Abigail Maraño also showcasing her offensive skills, but you gotta give credit to Kim Paado with that beautiful set.
That's right, but if you can see her, Maraño actually hang time there. She waited for the right time to hit it through the blockers.
A differential pa.
Oh.
1-all.
Oh. Misreception for Adamson.
Even Pao Soriano was quiet in that first set. Makatuno trying to take it with one hand. A free ball for the girls of LaSalle. And Galang angled it too much. Oh no, it did.
Yeah.
Catch the tape.
And right now, LaSalle receiving well, and their plays, their offense, they're looking very, very pretty.
A little bit of a cut shot for Ara Galang in that play. Amazing talent. Angeles native as the serve sails out. If you're Adamson, as I said, you want to beat LaSalle here, you got to be at your best. Maybe wish that LaSalle may konting laglag, because again, LaSalle has shown some signs in certain sets.
They're human.
Oh, nalalaglag yung laro nila. But you have to be able to take advantage of that if you're a team like Adamson. Not this time for Aragala.
That goes to show the quality of this season 75. LaSalle is, you're saying, showing signs of being vulnerable. But also because other teams have improved. I'm talking about Adamson, NU. These teams have improved, and they're challenging this mighty LaSalle squad.
All right, more from Adamson from Apple David.
Boomerang, kung hindi nakakasabay sa blocking ang Adamson, kailangan nilang bumawi sa depensa. Yan ang sabi ni Coach Sherwin. Dagdag pa niya, nagpapakahirap tayong pumatay ng bola tapos magbibigay kayo ng madaling puntos with a service error. Coach Sherwin encourages his players not to be frustrated dahil nabablock nila. Instead, mas lalo pa silang ma-challenge and be more creative and wise with their attack. Also, LaSalle has been successful in finding the open spots in the Adamson defense. Kaya naman Coach Sherwin is asking for more presence of mind from the Lady Falcons and faster reaction to the ball. Boomerang.
Thank you very much. And that was another example right there. On the reverse nga lang. Reaction was a little bit late. And now they're getting 3 points too. Yun ang hindi mo talaga pwedeng ibigay sa LaSalle. Shakey's Fast Serve brought to you by Shakey's Fun Family Pizza. You want them to at least earn those points and not give them the cheap ones, as we call it in volleyball.
That's true. And but you know, Abigail Meranio, again, no, getting her points in other ways, not just
that's
offense.
True. That's true. Cortel, underhand set. Masyadong malapit. Great presence of mind by Cortel, but here comes Fajardo setting up Galang. Soriano.
Wow!
Outsmarting the taller Mika Reyes.
That doesn't happen often because normally if it's a bit thin, Mika Reyes will be all over that, but she really timed it well.
Oh, maganda. Very feathery touch of the veteran. Now, the veteran, Pao Soriano.
You know what she created? She created a drowning effect. You
Yeah.
see, the blockers are like
True.
swimming.
That's a good term for it. Cortel again. Cortel has been productive for Adamson here.
She has been successful, and you know, Coach Sherwin actually did mention in one of the huddles that if she's successful, give her more sets.
Kasi hindi inaasahan masyado na LaSalle. Pangalawa, kaliwete pa.
Yeah.
So may konting kontrapelo effect. Fajardo again. That's too low for Michelle.
Well, that's a rare hitting error, but Adamson will take it as they take the lead here in the second set.
It is rare that you see rookie setters come in and command a team right away. We saw it with, at least in recent memory, with Jem,
Yeah.
with Giselle for FEU. We're seeing that same thing right now in LaSalle. And Fajardo was teammates with, well, some names like Maruba Natikla, Dindim Santiago, Ali Valdez, Eliza Valdez. Mga hindi nyo kilala masyadong pangalan. Mga teammate niya sa high school.
They were together in high school, so can you imagine yung mga kalaban nila?
Under Coach Francis Vicente, who now, of course, is at the helm of National University. Imagine that team.
I know. Like, you know, easily that high school team could have competed in the collegiate level, right? Because all those names that you mentioned are actually the superstars of this generation.
And Adamson gets to the technical timeout first via a service error from LaSalle. Back in a moment. Earlier today, UST beating UE in 3 sets. This is the second of our Wednesday doubleheader. We play Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays here at the arena in San Juan, with the exception of a February 9 play date, which by all accounts have been sold out already.
Wow.
National U and UST in the first game, Ateneo and LaSalle in the second game. But now, Adamson with a 2-point lead against LaSalle.
You know, Boom, in this conference, what I really like about it, there's drama. Because you never know what the outcome will be. I'll give an example. LaSalle lost their first match. Everyone didn't expect that. And then UST goes on to lose. You know, then Ateneo goes on to lose 2-3 straight games.
3, that's right.
FEU loses how many games and goes on to win?
They were at 1 and
3,
4
4
at one point, and now streaking at 6.
Exactly. So right now, you don't really know. There's always an unending saga. So that's what makes this season so exciting. You really don't know who's going to play good, who's going to play bad, and you never know who's going to win.
And that's what wins the fans, really. Other than, you know, you have your school supporters, but we have a lot of fans who are watching live and on TV who are not part of the UAP circle and are just rabid volleyball fanatics. Like, ito nga, may mga nagtitweet sa atin from Italy naman.
Wow.
From Italy, they're watching Melbourne, another viewer from Melbourne and their family watching us right now. Again, not from the school. They're saying they're not even from either school who are playing today, or they're just volleyball fans. We really appreciate the views, the support, and I'm sure all credit goes to the girls who are playing their guts out every single day.
And their practices. And, you know, you mentioned it one time before that what they have to go through in terms of going to school, their time management, and yeah, it's really a challenge for them.
All the other activities that they have to go through. 10-8. As Guevara serves, they are in the lead by 2.
Well, Adamson doing a good job here in the second set. You know, they have to maintain this. They can do it. We've seen them.
See that set? It's just precise.
And you know, the set is precise. She had her body going towards the net while looking at the setter, and she is able to get an angle. Yeah.
Let's go to Judy Sarrell from the defending champions.
Sa lasa ng mata, mag-anticipate at magbasa ng play. Yan ang gustong makita ni Coach Ramil sa Lady Spikers. Napansin niya na nag-aabang lang ang Lady Spikers bago gumalaw. Kaya napagpapaluhan sila ng Lady Falcons. Solusyon naman ni Coach, bilisan niyo ang galaw niyo at palo at huwag nang intayin na makatalo ng blocker nila. Paalala ni Coach na ayusin ang service para di na maulit ang ayaw nila. Sabi niya, ayaw na ayaw ko na tayo ang naghahabol. Boom!
Salamat, Judy. At ayun na nga, tabla na nga. Right on cue. After a long sequence of hits and mishits, the reverse set by Fajardo, perfect for Michelle Gumabao.
Well, and again, in that slow-mo, it was so clear, it was so evident that there's just one blocker. It's only Sheila Pineda challenging the Spikers. LaSalle, you know, given that opportunity, rarely will they be able to, will they hit it to one blocker.
Again, Pineda trying to avoid the blocker too wide. And you see her sigh there. You see the frustration on Bebs, who's just one of the players here that is a joy to watch, especially when she's attacking. Her form, her approach, her hops. But she's getting frustrated with that LaSalle defense. That's what it does sometimes. Kim to Wench.
Well, you know, the blocks on her were not exactly friendly blocks.
Pao Soriano, though, continues to hit from the middle.
Well, Pao Soriano really knows she is up against a really good blocking team, and she works double time. It's so obvious, especially in this match.
Kailangan mabilis.
Yeah. Tsaka matalino. You have to know where to target.
The block, good coverage by LaSalle. Gumabao. Makatuno quickly to Soriano. Coverage was there, provided by Fajardo. Tapikan. Save ball, but a fresh, easy over for LaSalle to take advantage.
Yeah, you know what I like about Fajardo in this play? She knew that Adamson was scrambling to get back into, you know, their perfect floor defense.
So quick.
Puro short set. Talagang fast set, short set.
Nung isang game nga against UST, nangyari din yan. On the second ball, ibinato na niya kagad sa zone 3 para mabilis habang nagsascramble yung UST. So what we're highlighting here, alam natin na medyo napupuri natin si Kim dito, pero what we're highlighting here is it seems that number 1, she has a natural volleyball talent that is obviously from her childhood. Number 2, her IQ is right up there in her first year in college. Thinking player.
Kumaga scholar.
ang tingin ko nga sa kanya, pag nakikita ko siya maglaro, and yes, I am amazed with how she has been playing. Para siyang traffic cop. You know, she is pointing.
Yeah.
She is telling her players, this is where you go, this is what we're going to do. That's what I mean when I said that she commands you know, the attention of much more veteran
That's
players
true.
like Abigail and Michelle Gumabao.
That's true. And we know, we played the sport. Normally, if you have a rookie setter, syempre, the brand...
Alalayan mo pa eh.
Oh, that's right. And the level of play is normally not... Maybe
par.
maybe the level of play of a rookie and a senior setter, parang medyo malayo pa.
Oh, yeah.
When she enters, kasi collegiate and high school is different. During our time,
Yeah,
ah.
ikaw yung mag-aalalay,
Oo.
ikaw yung laging magsasabi. Dito, baliktad, siya yung nagtuturo
That's right.
talaga.
Testament to the kind of player that she is.
Yep. Zapata had to adjust. They're scrambling on the other end, and Galang goes off speed. 14-12 is the score, and another block. But again, the floor defense of Adamson working, but can it prevent this attack? Yes, it does. A net block as Reyes gets hit in the nose off the mishit by Michelle Gumabao here on a net block.
Michelle Gumabao has been kind of inconsistent in today's match. When she gets the ball through, it's a tough shot. But if not, it's a net shot. So very inconsistent for Gumabao.
Nice block. It was Portel and Guevara collaborating for that one to tie the game at 14. Adamson is not going to go away, not by a long shot. And like I said, they are a gritty team, and they've shown that all season.
But that's a very good example to follow. What Guevara?
Oh, how disappointing! Yeah. Sheila Pineda was backtracking already. Nobody got the second ball, Noreen.
Yeah. Well, before that, I was saying,
Yes.
Guevara, she already went up for the quick block. Well, let's look at the miscue right there. She went up for the quick block, but she was aggressive. She went up for the second block, and that's what got that block and that point for Adamson. People who play the sport got to follow that.
Fajardo trying to fool Adamson, not that time. Kim. Yeah. Kim. Again! Wow! Narinig mo si Coach Ramin dito, bigyan mo. Nabigyan niya.
Smart.
2 puntos ang abante ng Lasal. Adamson still in it though. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtutok dito po sa UAP Season 75, the Women's Volleyball Tournament. Saan man kayo nanonood, kahit dito sa sulok ng San Juan Arena, katulad nila Dimac, Jessie De Leon, and the rest of the UST Golden Tigresses who won their game earlier against UE. Mga nanonood sa Studio 23 at saka sa The Filipino Channel, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat at mabuhay po kayo. Another point for the sophomore, Mika Reyes. Was actually very quiet against UST the last time out. But I guess she didn't really have to make much noise.
Her teammates did it for her.
Yeah. Mika Reyes, 1 point
No
in that
way.
game against UST. I mentioned it, I remember, because I did that game. I remember saying that Mika was extra quiet. But I mean, they finished that game in 3 sets, so it was really Aragala who was. What about this one? Great angle by Guevara, almost a facial at Gumabao. They need more of that.
That's right. And she has been connecting. So, by going to Guevara, you also keep LaSalle guessing.
Oh, what a waste. Too much power behind the Galang attack.
Galang is really showing her versatility
Oh.
in all positions. She can hit in the outside position, outside hitter position. She can hit in the utility position, in the center, the differentials.
Yeah.
Wow. What can we say? What more can we say about this player?
Top 10 best scorer, top 10 best spiker, top 10 in serves, top 10 in digging,
Blocking.
She is turning out to be an all-around player for LaSalle as we see this Shakey's Fast Serve brought to you by Shakey's Fun Family Pizza.
Pasok, Amanda. Apat lang. Resiban natin. Kung walang receive, set nyo lang sa open ng maayos. Cover na ulit. Kung may receive, hingi ng bola. Apat lang yan. Kaya pa yan. Sarap. Wala kang receive dyan, wala. Ha?
Maghahatak na si Coach Sherwin. Pinapapasok na niya si Amanda Villanueva, the recruit from St. James Academy. She has played in a few games here. In a couple of games, she started even for Adamson University, this time replacing Mayem Zapata, who top scored for Adamson in the previous round against LaSalle. But today, Coach Sherwin naguhugot. As this one drops, yun yung tinatawag nilang may laglag, yung bola.
Sudden drop. That's such a perfect block. That's a floater of a serve.
And then it drops. No spin at all.
Yep.
The 9th best server in the league gets that one through. Back set to Cortel. Galang was there. Demesilio, bagong salta dito sa ating laban. Pineda, cross court. Second ball already given up. Pineda too close. That's a point though.
Finally. I'm happy for her.
Yes. You feel for her, no?
Yeah.
And she put a little extra into that swing too. Marlene Cortel.
But you know, she has to really go for it, you know.
Oh, no
About
choice.
Pineda. No choice. Talagang challenge mo na. Give LaSalle, give to LaSalle that they're a good blocking team.
Oh, what a waste again for Adamson. They had that. But a net violation of Guevara. Giving LaSalle a 5-point lead. Sayang, oh.
That was
Actually,
Makatuno.
it was Makatuno, the setter. Mika Reyes now serving.
Oh, another good serve.
Makatuno to Guevara. Mika Reyes sends it back. They open up to Pineda. Off speed. The height of Maraño. And a chance for LaSalle.
Good big.
Makatuno quickly to Guevara. Has to be like that.
Right, and again, no, Guevara has been successful. LaSalle obviously just they're concentrating or they're focusing their defense on Pineda and Soriano. So Guevara has one blocker. There you go, one blocker.
They were preparing for Pineda. Guevara got the nod from Makatuno as Pisa is back serving 17-21. Maraño sends it over. Chance ball here for the girls in blue. They open up to Pineda. She's putting everything into the attacks now.
She's going for it, and it's a good sign for Adamson.
Let's listen to LaSalle this time.
Skip muna tayo sa harap si Soriano. So, dalawa lang naman yung spiker. So mag-concentrate agad at tulong na lang doon Sid pagka naka-receive sila ng pagka hindi natin ayun napatay yung bola. Tulong tayo sa block doon ha. Kasi muna tayo. Tapos pag-iwalay mo yung spiker mo, Kid, ha? Okay, sige.
Hey!
Sid, meaning Sid Demesilio, as Coach Ramil referring to, as Wench Chu is getting ready. Come back in. Played a lot of beach volleyball in the off-season. Was in the lineup last year. Did not get playing time. That's how deep they were. And then she comes out this year and starts.
Oh boy, the South squad.
They can form two teams really. Oh, imagine the practices, Noreen.
Yeah.
No? Saya siguro.
So halos, walang first.
Oh, it should be good for Pineda's confidence. 2 attacks for Bebs Pineda, cutting the lead down to 2.
Vertical lead, easy does it. That's the way she should do. If she's alanganin, just top spin, get it over. But don't change anything in terms of the stroke or do something extra special. Just
kanina ang ginawa niya as their service specialist fails on that serve. Kanina yung dalawang bayo niya talagang kinargahan niya ng gusto. So even if it was blocked, goes out. So check ball.
Yeah. But you know, I like that huddle of Coach Ramil. It's really just short and sweet. Okay, that's it? Okay.
alam nyo na kung anong gagawin niya. Minsan pampahinga lang pampatigil momentum lang Oh, it's not a net block. Adamson wanted a net block. Makatuno quickly to Soriano. Goes back to her. That's a third ball. This one's the fourth already. So, dahil tumama po, explain lang natin. Tumama pa sa ulo ni Pao Soriano.
That's right. And actually, coverage was there, but it's not enough.
That's the second touch, and that's the third. So, hindi na pwede. Fourth touch kay Sheila Pineda. Yun ang violation para klaruhin lang natin para po sa mga manonood.
Ha? Oh, dulo-dulo mo. Pwede naman yung dulo Diba? Ito magpaibabaw sa block. Apat na niya, isang patay. Oo, dapat. Huli mo na Ano, BA? Ngayon? Oh, sige, doon kayo. Okay. Isa lang yan.
Para po sa mga bagong nanonood ng volleyball at makarinig kayo ng mga patay, baka iba po isipin nyo, we call it in English a kill. So sa Tagalog, patay. Pag pinatay yung bola, ibig sabihin,
a point.
A point. Minsan baka isipin ano pinagsasabi ng mga coach. Pineda again. This time she's checked. Coverage was late. That was a gettable ball.
Exactly. Coverage really late. Or Thomas Cortel really
slow on the reaction.
Slow, yeah. Not even a split second, 1 second.
Set point now. Couple of service errors now for Kim Fajardo.
Very comfortable lead though for LaSalle.
Misreceived. So they send it over. Chance for Adamson. They go to Villanueva. Chu. Regalo. Ibinigay pa. Pinahirapan pa. Doon pa binigay ni Fajardo.
Saka with jump steps pa and near the net. Wow.
Oh, they're making it look clinical.
There you go.
That's a tough angle. And smart by Michelle, swiping that ball off the defender, off the blocker. A 2-0 lead here in this game between them and Adamson University. Back here at the arena in San Juan, let's look at some set 2 highlights. Adamson with an early lead at the start of this second set, with LaSalle catching up and then putting them away in the end.
LaSalle, you know, they just started out pretty slow in the second set, but when they got their groove back, everything just fell into place. Talk about their blocking, their receiving well, not to mention excellent setting from Fajardo. And you and I were talking about it, who really a rookie setter that commands respect.
Yep.
That's Fajardo, and LaSalle just in their element in today's match.
But the good sign for Adamson, again, you find people cheering for Adamson. The good sign is that Bebs Pineda kind of woke up a little bit. Found ways to deceive blockers, or just got back her confidence in hitting. We love this girl.
Yeah.
We've said this many times. And you want to see her back in her element. She got a little bit of that in that second set. At sana magpatuloy yun sa third set para sa kanya.
That's right. And we know that Bebs Pineda is a fighter. It's not easy, okay, for all the viewers. It's not easy to get decent or legitimate spikes through the blockers of LaSalle.
Yep.
Given that Pebs Pineda is not the tallest of players.
Boy, but this
Diba?
girl can out-jump a lot of them. A lot of the taller players. That girl on your screens, just incredibly athletic. From the first day that she stepped foot in the UAAP, you knew that she was going to be groomed as the next Angela Benting of this team. And she filled up that role very well. And I love how Pineda and Soriano complement each other's games. Ano? They really do. But LaSalle is just looking sharp today. 1-0.
Yeah, they're blocking really impeccable. Here you can see Villanueva was trying to brush it off the blockers, but she couldn't even do it because both Gumabao and Maranyo there to actually deflect that kind of hit.
Good attack by Soriano to get the point back. And while we have a lull, di natin pwede isa-isahin yung mga nanonood sa atin, obviously, Noreen, pero batiin natin yung mga nanonood sa Singapore, Porterville, California, and somebody told me that they're watching in Dubai right now.
We are around the world.
Oh, maraming salamat po, ha. Pasensya na, hindi ko na may isa-isa yung mga pangalan nyo dahil pagka sinimulan ko yan, sunod-sunod na. Pero lahat po ng mga nanonood sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo, pati na rin, of course, sa iba't ibang parte ng Metro Manila at ng Pilipinas na rin. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat muli at magandang araw. Thank you for supporting volleyball here on Studio 23. Let's check in with Apple David na nandito lang sa sulok ng arena here in San Juan for Adamson. Go ahead, Apple.
You know what, Bo and Noreen, what really ignited the 3-game winning streak of Adamson was a special meeting that the coaching staff called after their loss against USC. In that meeting, the coaches stressed the vital role of communication inside the court, which they think was a major problem for them in the first round. The Lady Falcons responded very well, especially their setter, May Makatuno, who from being quiet became more vocal inside the court. However, nakukulangan si Coach Sherwin sa pag-uusap ng players niya sa game na to. He told his girls to communicate more so that everyone is aware with what is happening inside the court at hindi yung nagkakagulutan sila. Back to you, Boomerang.
Thank you very much, Apple. Of course, Apple was talking about the loss of Adamson against UST that went all the way till 5 sets. And another block by LaSalle, a triple block on Pao Soriano.
You know, LaSalle, you know, their type of play today, in today's match, actually, you will frustrate any good offensive team.
Yes.
For that matter.
Yes. Great dive. But Adamson could not keep it on play. Listano with a good one. But this lead has gone up to 4 now. Adamson in a quandary.
Diba? Ano ba, in-spin? Anong gagawin nyo? Dahil kunin nyo lang. Wala sa timing. Final yun. Hindi ka makablock dyan. Diba? Isang receive muna. Kunin mo lang yung right side mo. Tara, patang yan, tara.
Kailangan kumapit ang Adamson dito. They're down 2 sets. They're down 4 points. As you see, Pao Soriano on your screens. At moments earlier where she was able to angle her kills against the LaSalle block. But it has to be a collective effort, as Noreen has been saying all throughout. Cortel has had a great game, by the way, for Adamson.
Yeah, she has been getting it through the blockers. And
yeah, diba?
Obviously, their scouting probably is to Soriano, Pineda, and not Cortel. So Cortel has been very successful.
5 points for her, spread out through the 3 sets. Makatuno. Ball in between Soriano and May Makatuno. As Listana is back.
But you know, Boom, I noticed that 4 is not lucky for Adamson because towards the end of that second set, I heard Coach Sherwin said, apat lang yan. Then the next time out, apat lang yan. And then earlier time out, apat lang yan. It's not been lucky for them.
That's right. Oh, Villanueva had the door slammed by Mika Reyes.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, everyone right now has been blocked by this, or has been victimized by this LaSalle wall.
It has been strong, no doubt. And Adamson getting cheap points from service errors from LaSalle.
Adamson has got to take advantage of those errors. And like now with a full front line, Makatuno's got to really move that ball, you know, not concentrate on the in front, because obviously the blockers will be there.
Yeah.
I mean in the middle.
Correct. 4 serving 7. By the way, speaking of the volleyball community, batiin natin si Phil Kainglet, celebrating her birthday today. I did greet her at the radio show this morning that I hosted. I had a nice chat with her also. Pati sila Shara Mayso and Glenn Dayano. They're all celebrating their birthdays.
Happy birthday
today. So, happy birthday. In the meantime, LaSalle very happy so far in this third set. A familiar 4-point lead against Adamson University. The fans getting younger and younger. the fan base of volleyball is very broad, Noreen, as you know. And lately, there has been really a surge of kids watching.
Actually, from all ages. I mean, people has just grown to love or fell in love or has fallen in love with the sport of volleyball.
Not necessarily from UAP schools. They just pick a side. They pick a player that they love or pick a side that they love.
And you were talking about it earlier, not even, not even from just here in the Philippines.
Yes, all over the world as Mika Reyes finding a spot here. LaSalle again installing a 4-point lead as we check in with Judy Sarah.
Yan ang binigyan din ni Coach Ramil kanina sa timeout. Kahit na nakakalamang sila, hindi nilang bahala ni Coach ang mga pagkakamali ng Lady Spikers. Paalala ni Coach, mag-usap kayo sa loob at wag lang pataas ang block, gawing paloob din. Sabat naman ni Abby, tara na, last na to. Hayaan natin silang mapagod, basta dumepensa tayo. Women or team?
Thank you very much, Judy. 10-5 is the score. Mika Reyes on deck for LaSalle. Again, you know, we go back to that conversation that Judy had with Coach Ramil in the first set. Kahit na nanalo sila against UST, the thing that they really want to fix is their service errors. And nakarami na naman sila today, ha?
Exactly, and 3 points, as you were saying, for Adamson.
I see the UST team as Pineda again gets smothered here at the net. This time by the rookie Kim Fajardo. The UST team leaving the arena in San Juan. UST watched intently because they have Adamson up next on Saturday.
Well, I'm sure the scouting programs of each school working hard.
That was a great set for Pao Soriano, but she angled it too wide there.
You know, that slow-mo, I want to go back to that. Fajardo really showing not only, how smart she is as a player. She had that one, the reason why she was able to block it down, she had hang time. No, she was in the air long enough for her to wait for that ball and just push it down.
Soriano, second straight time, frustrated at the net. This time, Abby Marano was the one who locked her down. Well, which brings me to that point that I was saying about Kim Fajardo. The two things that impresses me, and that is obvious, is one. The second one was her IQ, and number one is that volleyball skill, which includes her athleticism. And she continues to serve for LaSalle. I'm checking schedules here. LaSalle will go up against FEU up next. FEU on a roll, as we've said, and they hope to continue rolling even up against the defending champions. That's what Adamson's trying to do here. 3-game winning streak, but LaSalle looking to halt that. Right now at 14-6 is the score. Pineda again, and Abby Maraño today, the last 2 games, even on her own. Remember, she's coming off a game where she had 7 blocks, and now Coach Sherwin puts in Fenella Risha Emnas, a first-year setter for his team.
Well, you know, LaSalle is really giving a blocking academy or blocking tutorials to the Adamson squad today. Nothing to get through, no tips, not even that last tip set over by Pineda.
Score doesn't lie too, 16-6. It is a dominated set by LaSalle. Me and Noreen here checking out schedules again for both these teams. Should be an interesting match on Saturday for Adamson against UST, especially if Adamson goes on to lose here. That match will be very important for them. LaSalle, in the meantime, will have FEU, as I mentioned earlier on. You look down the road, LaSalle will have FEU, UP, and then the big one against Ateneo, while Adamson, after today, will have UST and then FEU. Oh, UST and... Okay, this gets really interesting down the stretch. Adamson is going to face UST and FEU next. That should be a good schedule for them. And really, I think we're going to have a clearer picture of where teams are going to be in the next 2 or 3 playing days.
That's right. And, well, anyway, Adamson now really crumbling here in the third set. But you know, that's nice about what you're saying, the schedules. Right now, you can see everyone's bet. Everyone doesn't know who to bet on. You know what I'm saying? Your guess is as good as mine on who's going to be the Final Four.
Oh.
But the next few games, you're right. It's going to paint the portrait already, the Final Four.
Down 13, the biggest lead of the match so far.
I-receive natin, iniilagan nyo para yung makukuha. Ay, tasa sa bola, oh!
Layo pa yan.
Ay, Diyos ko naman kayo. Maglaro lang kayo, eh. Mag-receive. Reset. Panuhin. Hindi, wala na kailangan eh.
It's 19-16, that's the score. As fans of Adamson, Doreen, we've mentioned this as Makatuno gets back into this game. As fans of Adamson, you and I, we love to watch this team play. We love watching Sheila Pineda and Pao Soriano play. It should pain you to hear a timeout like that, no?
That's right. And, you know, it just goes to show. Some players, they don't really understand the meaning when coach says you can win games by defense. This is one perfect example. LaSalle, although yes, they're a very good offensive team, they actually took Adamson off their game today by blocking, by good blocking. And that's what the coaches mean when you can win games by defense.
Pao Soriano with a power tip, getting them to 7 points. Oh, great stoppage there. But a free ball for LaSalle and a quick play to Abby from Kim.
Everything really working well for LaSalle.
And for the third straight game, Doreen, when Kim Fajardo comes in, Esperanza sits out the rest of the game. For the third straight game, maybe even 4, but at least the last 3 that I've done. And that is the NU, LaSalle, and UST game. Sorry, NU, UST. And even the Ateneo game when she came in.
Well, you know, today's performance just says it all. I mean, Fajardo actually gained my respect. I mean, I know she's a good player, but today's performance, no, you're talking about the IQ, athleticism, all-around game. I mean, she's playing well for LaSalle, and can you imagine she's just a rookie? Just a rookie.
And this is me nitpicking already, Noreen. But boy, the service game of LaSalle has been bad today. Everything has worked for them. But if we have to criticize something, and I bet you Coach Ramil will do the same thing, it's their service game. And that might bite them, you know, in tighter games, di ba? Siyempre, you're trying to, if you're Coach Ramil, you're trying to perfect your game going into the Final Four as Maraño gets this one to Zone 1. Villanueva and Alquino could not get to the block. Owishi Owa, moment of the game. Owishi Owa open up to everyday surprises. At ito na, Alquino is in. Cerveza is in for LaSalle. Shuffle na ng tao si Coach Ramil with 3 points away from a win. Villanueva begging for a check ball, non-given.
Well, you know, it could be Coach Sherwin Menezes also trying to find a spark plug. Although it's far, it's still not impossible for them to come back.
23 serving 8. A dismantling here in the third set. To say the least. Yeah. Nice hit. Cortel again. Not that time though. Listana sends it over. Fajardo, reverse set to Gumabao. Makatuno was there. Pineda. Villanueva. That comes up short. Pineda only with 8 points in this game. She had 10 also against De La Salle the last time out in round 1, which again shows you LaSalle, marked woman.
Yes.
Sheila, they know her ability. They know how good Sheila Pineda is. We know how good Sheila Pineda is. And binarkahan siya talaga today.
That's true. Those are 8 painful points for her.
Perfect description.
Hard, blood, sweat, and tears.
Talaga. Cortel, not that time. And how poetic it is that LaSalle wins on a block.
Well, again, I'd like to say, you know, you can win games through defense, and this is a perfect game to watch if you want to understand that statement more.
If you're an Adamson fan, you cannot be too discouraged because this team has been playing so well, but they ran into a sharper LaSalle team today. But you have to look forward to that matchup against UST if you're Adamson today. But in the meantime, we'll take a break and we will wrap this baby up. In this second game of our Wednesday doubleheader, great scene off when we were off cam during the commercial break. Amanda Villanueva, Michelle Gumabao with a real tight hug, you know, consoling Gumabao, consoling Villanueva. A lot of these players are friends off the court, but business is business when they're on the court, and LaSalle took care of business today.
Well, they really just played their game. You know what? They look so light in today's match, Brian. They're in their right element. Everything was just flowing well. They're playing like a well-oiled machine, and they really, I want to say it again. I keep saying it again. Okay, I have a broken record, but they really showed defense can win games. And
at the middle of that well-oiled machine is our Shakey's best player, brought to you by Shakey's Fun Family Pizza with Judy Sarrell, is the former UST standout, Kim Fajardo. Judy?
Boomerang, kasama ko nga ngayon ang best player natin sa hapon na ito, si Kim Fajardo. Kim, ano ba sa tingin mo yung contribution mo sa pagpanalo nyo ngayon laban sa Adamson?
Sa tingin ko po, yung pagtrabaho, kung ano yung dapat trabahuin sa loob ng court. In-expect naman po lahat ng bawat team, bawat coaches na kung pag may pinasok na player, kunwari, syempre, gawin mo yung dapat mong gawin.
And ano po yung naging mindset mo going into this game na nakapagdulot ng panalo nyo ngayon?
Mindset, lahat naman po kami gusto namin manalo. So yung gusto namin manalo at matapos yung season ng maayos.
Thank you, Kim, and congrats again sa pagkapanalo nyo ngayon. Greetings pala muna.
Hello po kay Tito Edwin, tsaka kay Tito Edwin Galvez, Tito Edwin Hermilio, and Tito Benjo Flores, and sa daddy ko, sa relatives ko po sa Calatagan, and sa relatives ko po sa Cavite, and Tita Merly, hello from Ghana.
Congrats again, Kim. Back to you, Boomerang.
She's very, very happy, and she should be. She's been a winner since she was in high school, and she's part of a winning team again today, and a team that is looking for its 3rd straight championship. But right now, the business is a 9th straight win after a straight sets victory over the Adamson University Lady Falcons. That's Kim Fajardo, our Shakey's best player. We're taking a break, and then we'll really finish it off here at the arena after these. Well, they're closing the lights on us here at the arena in San Juan, so we might as well get through this real quick. 25-19, 25-20, 25-8. Let's just run through the team standings. We did say it's very important, Noreen, and the succeeding schedule will also put a premium on that, but walk us through our team standings right now with LaSalle obviously at number 1 pa rin.
Well, yeah, you know, they're very comfortable there. 9-1. Basically, they're guaranteed to be part of that Final Four. And again, I would say the number 2, 3, and 4 will really depend on the games ahead. You know, you can see Ateneo 7-3. 3 teams tied 6-4, and NU not far away with 5-5. So it's the race for the Final Four is on.
It is on. It is dead on. It is very much on. And I'm sure all the teams are saying, bring it on, because that is going to be an exciting wind-up, and the winners here are really the volleyball fans who are going to look out down the road to see what other kind of drama, as Noreen would say, would unfold here in this season. In the meantime, balikan natin yung schedule natin this Saturday. As I mentioned, Ateneo and UP. Ateneo finally snapping their 3-game losing skid, winning the last time out, and this time they go up against UP. And then that exciting matchup, Adamson has got to pick themselves up, and then go up against UST. That promises to be a humdinger and a barn burner here at the arena in San Juan. That's Saturday. We start 2 in the afternoon. Kaya kung hindi man kayo, wala man po kayong ginagawa, sama-sama na tayo dito sa arena in San Juan para mapanood natin yung parehong laban. Kung hindi man, well, nandyan po ang Studio 23 at UAPsports.tv. There you have it for today. UST winning in straight sets against the winless UE Lady Warriors and the defending 2-time champions on a 9-game winning streak. Stop the 3-game win streak of the Adamson University Lady Falcons. That's it for your Double Dip Wednesday. For Noreen Go, Judy Saro, Apple David, and Direk Alderi, and everybody in the truck for ABS-CBN Sports, I'm Boom Gonzalez saying so long from Volleyball Central, the arena in San Juan, as we continue to spike, set, and smash our way through Season 75 of the UAP Women's Volleyball Tournament.